a girl a-running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
AM 1420 WIMS, Talk of the South Shore. Big George the Carguy on the line. In fact, Big George is all over the world, and he just got back from Vegas. Big George, welcome to the show with Rick and Nick. You got a big show coming up this weekend. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm just wonderful. I get a little jet lag. I've been flying back and forth. Been traveling all around, Rick, as you know. And this whole thing, in this whole deal, I have picked up on, you know, when they bailed out the car business in 2009,
Yep.
Everybody went, oh, geez, they got to bail out Chrysler. You know how many lives our world is touched by the car business? I'm learning this as I'm traveling. The little places that make the screws, the nuts, the bolts, the clips. My God, it's the biggest employer in our world, in our whole country.
Absolutely wild. So, Nick, obviously, we're here on WIMS, WHFB. Big George the Carguy on WIMS and WHFB tomorrow, Saturday. Let's talk to Big George about some fun stuff.
Yeah, wait, Nick, are you in Is Nick in Kalamazoo?
Today, Nick is in WHFB territory, and we were just on the air with, David and Steve and Mary E. And,
I was listening, yeah.
Yeah, signal stretches, baby. And so it's absolutely awesome. So I think it's really, really cool. So talk to me a little bit about what's coming up this weekend on your show, Big George.
Well, I'm going to expound quite a bit on this traveling and the things that I've run into and the little mom and pop type shops and manufacturers that are part of the car business. I'm 45 years in the business. I didn't realize just how far it reaches. I mean, every little town, they're all over the country, these little manufacturers that build stuff that goes in a car.
Oh, I'm with you. Hey, listen, someone just sent over an instant text asking about warranties and extended warranties. They're thinking of buying a new car, and they're contemplating getting an extended warranty. What would you say with today's standards and cars? They didn't say what kind of car, but what's your thoughts on that?
Well, here's the deal. Some of those are fly-by-night that are not, if they're manufacturer-specific. Say you're buying a Ford, and Ford offers you their extended warranty, that's fine. But if you go to a car lot and he's got Joe Schmo's extended warranty, you got to research them, because some of them are fly-by-night and some of them don't cover anything. They, all the little paperwork and all the little fine print, you find out you got nothing.
Wow.
You paid a lot of money for those things.
I'm with you on that. A lot of car shows around the area, a lot of hot rod fun stuff going on between WIMS and WHFB territory. I know Nick and I at the back end of July are going to be doing a broadcast, which we'll talk about, coming up in Southwest Michigan together to help our veterans. In fact, I've got a big event coming up tomorrow at Blue Chip, which we're going to help our veterans. They're going to do a big ride, and then we've got some great vendors there to help on all levels. And then we're going to have a dinner of sorts with some keynote speakers and really having a good time. So we're looking forward to that as well.
Well, you and Nick are going to be going one way, and T-Rex and I are going to be going the other. We're going to be all over the Midwest, us guys, all four of us.
I'm all about that. Plus,
in a week, we got Valparaiso, the Soapbox Derby for Special Olympics.
Nice.
I mean, that's just great. And then there's coming up the Veterans Show in LaPorte, and they're just everywhere.
So
I don't want
anyway,
to miss one.
Where do they pick up the name? I was curious. When you said Soapbox Derby, that reminded me. I've asked this question before. Where did that name come from? Soapbox Derby.
Well, if you research it, it goes way back. I was in a Soapbox Derby when I was 9 years old, Nick, in Hammond, on the old Columbia Avenue Bridge. And I was 9 years old, and I was the heaviest 9-year-old you ever saw. So I won. My car went the fastest downhill. Remember when I don't know, you guys were too young, but when we were kids, we made go-karts with no motors, but they were out of boxes.
Can I tell you something?
And baby buggy wheels and stuff like that.
We made go-karts, the boys in my family. I'm the youngest of 3 sons, but my dad, we did some fun stuff like that, but we also made the go-karts where we would take and my brothers were the good ones at that. I was just good at being radical Ricky, but they would take the mowers, the lawn mowers and their engines, and then they'd put them on, actual steel bodies. And my brothers to this day are phenomenal at, you know, doing cars and different things like that. I would use a person like you, George, and your great service, because I'm not that good at doing stuff with cars. But give me a guitar or give me a radio station, I'll rock that one real hard.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and I'm a little older than you are, maybe a year or two. And so we use wood. That's where the soapbox, they were made, the actual carts were made out of soapbox.
Wow.
And they race them downhill, Nick, and it's fun to watch. And you have to see these Special Olympic kids, they have a two-seater cart, a special one, a soapbox derby car. And one of the soapbox derby age drivers takes one of the special needs kids with him down the run.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God, you ought to see him come through the finish line. Here screaming and laughing and having a ball.
Absolutely great. You know, earlier this week we had John King in, who's doing a big music fest for the Porter County Special Olympics on July 9th in Valparaiso, and he's got some unbelievable bands. British Invasion 2 featuring Beggars Banquet. They're, you know, obviously just by the name, they're a Stones tribute. Chris and Lou do the Beatles Experience, and then Disraeli Gears with Baker's Kid in there for real, doing all cream. So this should be really, really cool. So that's coming up. You know.
That used to be a car and bike show also with John King. I know John pretty well, and great guy.
Yeah.
And he run this show for a long time, but there's no car show anymore. But when it was a car show, T-Rex and I used to go out there and film it.
Well, you know what we could do? We could get together with John, and we'll create something new, some new memories, and help out some of the kids that need our stuff. Well, Big George, you have a wonderful one, and we'll hear you on the dial tomorrow morning right here on WIMS and WHFB.
You know, you guys are the best. You really are.
Love ya.
Right back
Okay,
at you.
bye.
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 AM 1420 WIMS, Michigan City, a Girard Media Company, streaming live at WIMSradio.com.